Made it here to the job of the day. This morning we're starting off with this one dead ash here. Anything that comes this way here we have to chip up. Anything that goes that way we don't have to bring out, since there's that fence there. There's really no easy way to grab all that stuff. We do have to clean it up though, leave it all nice and clean. Clean up this whole area here. We also have this one tree here. Basically all the trees that have the yellow mark on them, well, this yellow band. We're starting off with this one here. This one's going to be pretty simple. The real difficult one is going to be that one there. I'm going to walk around just to show you guys the trees. We have this one here. It's completely dead. It's pretty close to the shed, but it shouldn't be an issue. We'll get that knocked out, no problem. Back behind the shed we have a good amount. We have this whole pile here. Those are all completely dead. We have a whole bunch in that area there, everything that's dead. And we have a couple small ones there. They're not too bad. They're pretty close to this shed, but they shouldn't be too difficult. We'll knock that out. We also have these two here. This one that's completely dead, as well as this one here. It's not completely dead, but it's right up against the fence. These two shouldn't be too difficult. That one shouldn't be too difficult. This one's easily droppable right here. You can see Ruben's already tossing the line up on that tree there, so you could get a rope around the top so we could toss it down that way, drop it. The only real difficult one here is the one right up against that fence. It's the biggest one, and it's probably the one that's going to give us the most issue. We're taking all the wood. We have to come out all the way through that gate over there. We already have the chipper all set up. We'll probably park the log truck right there and start loading it up when we can. We're going to first start with this one here, and then we'll move on to the most difficult one, and then we'll continue down the line, start knocking these out till we get to these. These shouldn't be too difficult at all. Maybe the ones by the shed will be a little bit difficult, but we'll be fine. We're gonna knock this one out, and then we'll move on to that big one there. Just dropped that first tree there. You can see my brother's already on the mini grabbing all the branches. We're turning on the chipper, getting it all ready to go. I'm gonna head over and grab the other mini just so we could quickly start knocking out all these branches here, get everything chipped up, all the wood out of there, and we're just gonna start knocking trees out, start getting the job done. Quickly knocked out those first two trees there. Still got a bit of cleanup left. We're starting to drop these trees here. Freddie tossed up a couple ropes on these here. We're gonna try to drop this one all the way that way. We're gonna try to do the same for this. Maybe not this one branch that's coming down this way. You already dropped this one here. You can see it landed right there. That's fine there. Now we're gonna try to pull this one all the way this way, so hopefully it drops just like this one here. Thankfully we were able to drop that one tree there. Now we have to figure out how we're gonna get this one down. That one was real sketchy. It was leaning so much this way. Luckily we were able to throw it that way. And now we have to see how we're gonna bring this one down. While the guys got a couple ropes around this one tree here, Berardo's getting ready to drop this one tree here. Freddie's getting ready to start cutting it, so hopefully we could get it to drop that way. I would never recommend anybody, if a tree's leaning this way, do not try to push it. Only reason why is we have a whole setup over there and we have like 5 guys pulling that tree. If it wasn't for that, we would not be able to pull it that way. We still haven't finished cleaning up all those branches there. We're gonna go back and start cleaning that whole area up, and then we're just gonna move on with the rest of the trees. We're gonna try to drop this down a little bit just so it's not such a huge mess. Our job was only to get it to fall this way. We don't got to worry about the cleanup. You can see what bad of a spot this tree was in. Now we're gonna continue with the rest of the trees. Cleaned up all these branches, just got a bit of cleanup left. The guys are picking up all the smaller stuff, tossing it in the bucket. Berardo and Freddy are over here dropping all these smaller trees here. We had a bunch of smaller trees leaning right over the shed here, and then we also have those trees there, and we also have to deal with the trees that are right there in that corner there. Once we're done with that, we'll move on to those trees. We're gonna continue cleaning this area up here while the guys finish dropping all these trees. Finished up with all those trees, knocked out all the ones by the shed, all the ones in that area there. The guys dropped this second tree here, the one we left behind. They're getting ready to drop this other tree there, and then we also have that one tree. The guys are dropping these now. We actually have to clean this whole area up, so we removed the fence there so we could go in and grab everything. They're getting ready to drop this one here. Once they drop that one, we'll bring everything out, take it right up to the chipper. We knocked out these two here, and we knocked out the right side of this one tree. You can see Berardo climbed up this tree here because it's leaning right over the shed here. So he's gonna bring it down branch by branch. He has a rope going to that tree there. So hopefully we will get this branch to swing that side there and drop it right here in this area here. We separated the fence just so we could go through here. That isn't broken, that's just because we had to take it out so we could pass right through here.
una copa por día, man.
All done with this final tree of this area here. Still got a bit of cleanup. Got to grab all these logs. These are getting cut small so we can stack them right there. Then we got to put the whole fence back up, get that all set up. We actually have to go back to this big tree which we dropped. The customer spoke with the neighbor and they decided that they want to pay to get that all removed. We let them know that it was going to cost a good amount, especially since there's already a bunch of stuff there. We have to work around and then figure out how we're going to drag everything out. They said it's completely fine. So once we finish up here, we just have one smaller tree down there that we got to quickly knock out, and then we're going to head back to that first big tree, start cleaning up that whole area there, pulling everything out, getting all those logs out of there, cleaning everything up, leaving it all nice. Done with this area here. We picked up all the logs, stacked them up right there. Still got a bit of cleanup. Got a couple branches there we got to pick up. Still got to clean up this area here. We'll just pass the blower, clean it all up. We also got to put the fence back up. The guys are over here dropping a couple trees that we needed to drop. Those are actually the final trees we're dropping. Freddy's over there where we dropped that one big tree. He's starting to cut up all the branches so we can figure out how we're going to drag them all out of there. All the logs are staying. I got to double check, but all the logs are staying. If now we have to drag them out. We still have a whole bunch of logs there that we got to stack into the truck. We're going to start knocking out all these branches. We have to drag everything out, stack all the wood along this fence here. I'm just going to set up the camera on time lapse since it's so much work, so I could catch the whole process getting done until we finish. basically done with this area back here. The guys are just finishing up with a little bit more branches. We cleaned it up the best we can. We stacked up all the wood along the fence there. If you guys remember from the beginning of the video how big this tree was, it was a complete mess back here, but we cleaned this whole area up, left it all nice and clean. We already basically chipped up everything. All we have left is a couple branches like this small pile here. You can see the guys are passing by with the bucket cleaning up all the little branches that there's left. Once we finish with all that, we still have to load up all that wood, which isn't an issue, but we do have to cut it. Freddie's getting ready to cut all these logs here. We're gonna cut them up and put them right into the truck. Gonna knock this area out, finish this up, and then we'll head out of here. All done here. The guys are just getting the trucks all ready to go. Cleaned up this whole grass area, left it all nice and clean. The guys are finishing up with the driveway, cleaning that up, leaving it all nice and clean. I'm gonna walk around and show you guys exactly what we got done. First, we knocked out this one big ash tree that was here. At first, we were just dropping it and just leaving it there. Then the customer decided that he wanted to clean up this whole area here. So we picked up all the branches, stacked up all the wood there for him, left it all nice and clean. Knocked out the one tree that was right here. This was actually the first tree that we cut in the morning. We had a couple in front of this fence here and a couple in the back. Chopped the ones in the back, cleaned up the ones that were over here, landed on this side here, cleaned up this whole grass area, left it all clean. We also dropped these two that were right here. We dropped them in this area here, got it all cleaned up, all the grass, everything. All that wood was already there. That's the customers. In this whole area here, we had a bunch of little trees that we had to knock out. Everything that was leaning up against this shed here, cleaned up, got everything cut, the whole pile of dead trees that was there. We also removed 4 or 5 trees that were right here, including this one that was here, then that big one there, which was actually 2, and that one there, which was 2 as well. Got all the wood stacked up. The whole driveway was all cleaned up, left nice and clean. The guys already loaded up the minis. We're all ready to go. I'm gonna hop in the truck with one of these guys since my leg is still messed up. That way they could drive home.
And he actually sent me his number. I'm gonna text him.
Just made it back here to the shop. It was a real long, difficult day, but we got everything done. I just want to thank anybody who took their time out of the day to watch the video. Any questions, any comments, any tips for me, leave them down below. Catch you guys next time.
I was recording today.